Hey, what's up, friends? Welcome back to another episode of Kevin's Favorite Podcast. I am your host, Kevin Davis. And if you keep up with the show, you know me by now. You know I'm a comic creator, writer, entrepreneur, and all other different things. But today's guest, we finally got him here on my show, as I've been on his show like 3 times now. Please welcome Mr. Gary Jones to the Kevin C. Fate Podcast. How you doing, man?
Appreciate it, man. It's been a long time coming. I think after we did the first recording back in January of this year, we talked about me coming on either this one or your other podcast.
But finally, we're here. We're finna have a bromance, talk about comics, talk about movies, and just have some fun, just nerding out. But first, let's get to know a bit about yourself, man. Tell us what you do and how you became the man you are today, man.
I'm Gary Jones. I currently work in IT. That is what I do as a day job. But what I prefer to do is I prefer to write. Now, if we had had this conversation a year ago, it would have been I prefer to write comics. But I realized over the last year, I like to write in general. I like storytelling. And so I don't consider myself just a comic book writer anymore. I'm a writer. Currently working on a screenplay, which I haven't really talked to you in too much detail about, but I did kind of allude to in a off camera that is what I'm working on. Yeah, other than that, I love video games. I love movies and TV. I slightly indulge in video games because I can't say I love video games when I don't play as much as I want to or as much as I used to. And then when I do play video games, it's kind of like the same rotation of video games. Occasionally I'll play something new, like I'm hoping and praying I can play Ghost of Yotei soon so I can just get a taste of that.
Interesting. I haven't played that myself, but I've heard things about it that's a really good play.
Did you get to play Ghost of Tsushima?
No.
Bro.
I haven't played games in so long, man. I mean, I have to catch up. I'm literally about to get get a new system again because I want to be a kid again, like play some games and stuff. So I'm add that to my list.
All work and no play is no fun. You got to have some video games in there.
Man, good game. I don't play that 2K graphic card now.
Okay, listen. I have to confess. This is why I said I can't call myself a gamer. Most of the time, if I'm playing video games, I'm playing Madden. I am sorry. I've been ostracized from
Why you apologize? I played Madden too.
That's basically all I play now.
That's completely fine. You're still playing games. It's still a game, so you're still a fan.
Yeah. Other than that,
I ain't played Madden so long either.
You're not missing anything. Like the last Madden you played is basically the same Madden as now. So yeah, there's no difference.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes total sense. I mean, I don't even know the last time I played Madden. It's like so.
It's the same.
Yeah, figured.
Yeah.
But yeah,
it's just a roster update.
But yeah, I'm a writer myself, and right now I write mostly comics at the moment. And I'm getting back to my roots of writing novels because that's where I started from, and I'm actually writing my first screenplay as well. I will talk to you off camera about that later.
Okay.
Because I don't want to tease about that until there's actually something concrete I'm doing about that. Same thing. And speaking of comics, I got one of my comics right here, Arcfire. So proof I actually do write comics. To whoever's watching, I'm not lying. This is my Arcfire. Because I started wanting to be like a screenwriter because every time I write, my imagination just blows up and goes so far. So I'm trying to write a comic script. I'm like, wait a minute, I have to be careful with the comic script because I can't put too much in the panel. Yeah. So that's why I'm like, I'm going to transition to screenwriting at some point because I need to get my entire storytelling out my brain. So I have to switch. So when I'm switching between, okay, this is the full story in the like a screenplay, but this is how it's broken down in a comic book story. Right. So same story, but it's different ways to explain what's going on because in panels you have to describe everything and have like almost little to no dialogue or like enough dialogue to fit in the panel, but not too much to overwhelm it. Yeah, overwhelm it and overshadow it. and stuff. I'm sick.
Right.
So I'm like, that's why I'm a novelist, I'm a comic writer, and I'm a screenwriter. So I'm like, I'm all of it.
You're just a writer, man.
I'm
That's all.
like, I'm just a writer, and I really love getting into screenwriting. I would be a producer, director, screenwriter because I don't want us just be like one industry. That's why I have my hands in multiple industries at once, as you
Mm-hmm.
know. And like I love storytelling, and I just want to just explore my imagination, see what the heck I can do, see what the heck I can bring to life, and also seeing like the skyrocket rise of like the obsession director who was my
Right.
age at 26 years old. His first movie, he made box office.
Mm-hmm.
Like that is something that is truly inspiring because I'm like, if he can do it at my age, you can do anything. You know what I mean? You just
Yeah.
have to find your route to it. So I'm like, I'm gonna find my route there, but right now I want to build out my comics and my novels first, like to build my name out there. He's
Mm-hmm.
got getting on a bit, and I think you actually wrote like a comic book before. I think it was Nighthawk, I believe. That was your book,
I
right?
have 4 comics out now.
Four comics,
Um,
dude. Can you tell us the process of that? Like, and tell us what are your stories?
so my process has changed over the years. I started
Mm-hmm.
writing my first comic in 2018, and the very first story didn't actually publish that people were like, "Yo, we actually like really like this story." It's called Brontide. That book came out in I think 2022. Is a 30-year-old bum gets taught harsh love, but runs into a cult, and his life is changed forever. So people who know me know that I love superhero stories. So all of my comics are superhero stories. And so Brontide is a story where we get to see this character who his name is Bruce. And he goes through this awakening, so to speak. Because all his life his parents just gave him whatever he wanted. His parents were very well off. He was very sick as a child. And so like they because they were afraid of him dying, they wanted to spend as much money on him as possible, make sure that he was well taken care of. And unfortunately, that ended up with him being one of those very spoiled rich kids that don't know how to be grateful for anything. Yeah, so he's in his mid 30s when we are introduced to him in the first issue. And yeah, some things happen, and he eventually comes across this cult leader who essentially takes him to his compound, and he sees some things. And so that basically introduces us to his aspect of this universe. We get to kind of see a little bit of a glimpse of his power set that Bruce has, and yeah. So far, only issue 1 of that has come out, but I have 12 issues fully outlined for his story with a full 48 issue series planned. All of my characters have 4 volumes planned, and each volume is essentially 12 issues, where the first 6 issues gives you the beginning of this arc, the last 6 issues give you the end of the arc. You get a one shot in the middle. It's a lot. It all makes sense. It's all linear. But yeah, that's how all of them are planned out.
Since you said volumes, are you doing like a trade for this
Eventually is the plan, yes. So the way that I initially planned this out would be each issue would get released individually. And then when I get to issue 6, it would be a mini trade, or I guess technically a regular trade or whatnot. And then do the one shot, do the last 6 issues, so get to 12 and make the trade or omnibus out of that. Yeah, that's the plan. So that's Brontide. The next book that came out after that in 2023 was Lionheart, and the short log line for that is a young Mexican American girl is trained to fight after losing her entire family on her 6th birthday, and on the night of her first big fight, her past comes to haunt her. That is all I'm going to say, because the story for that is probably my second favorite story that I've written, because it's kind of like if you were to take aspects of Daredevil and mix it with Green Arrow and kind of toss that out there. That's kind of Lionheart. So my favorite thing about Lionheart is that it's more grounded, more slice of life rather than superhero, but it touches on themes of revenge, themes of hatred, and themes of family that are a little bit different from Brontide. I love Lionheart.
Are your stories like a connected universe, like Marvel,
Yeah.
like DC type of?
What I plan on doing is after each 12 issues between each of the characters, it was going to be a big crossover event between all the characters. Where I already have all of those playing, it's going to be like, I think 3 events. No, it was going to be 4 events
A
playing with that.
4 party event.
Yeah. And each
Nice.
event
Heck
has
yeah.
its own big bad, has its own
I
storyline.
love those. Yes.
Yeah. So think like
Man.
how DC does their events with Crisis and stuff.
Yeah.
Just like that, but also the way that Marvel does their events where they have those tie-ins. There's going to be small pieces in each of the stories, in each character's individual story that ties into that event.
So speaking of Marvel and DC, Marvel is on fire right now, as I'm
Mm-hmm.
pretty sure you see around.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna have a bromance and talk about some nerd stuff right now. Dude, first off, when the Doomsday trailer came out, I woke up, my feed was on fire. And I was like, why is people so hyped right now? Like, what am I missing? And then I see like Megan's and my Avengers Doomsday's trailer. It's
Yeah.
like, and then
Yeah.
I see you. It's like, oh shit. I was like, okay. And then it popped up on my YouTube. I was like, oh shoot, this is real. I legit just woke up, waking up to the trailer being released. And I'm like, well, that's one way to freaking wake up on a random
Right.
day. And then I watched that trailer and I was like, yeah, there's a lot going on right now. I actually really love the trailer, especially with Doom's accent. I was like, Robert
Mm.
got Doom's accent. Like, I was like, you can't tell that's Robert. That's freaking
Yeah, they
Doom.
did good with that.
That's
That's
legit
why,
Doom.
like, when I saw the trailer, I was just like, okay. I was not too happy with them casting RDJ for it.
I
I was
was
like, I
like,
feel like they could have done someone else.
yeah.
Personally, I would have liked to see Cillian Murphy take the role. I think he would have been great.
Mhm.
But Marvel, I apologize. Mistakes were made.
Like, I'm actually really, I mean, when he was first announced as Doom, and I was like, how though? He was freaking Iron Man. And then I seen like people show up like a cover poster of like when Iron Man becomes Doom or something, whatever that
Yeah,
storyline is.
what was it called? Invincible Iron Man or something like
I
that?
think it was with this multiverse thing, none of the multiverse stuff connected. So I was like, I was a bit off, and like wondering, okay, how did we lead to Doom? Because I know with the drama with Jonathan Majors, they took off Kane. But I was like, well, how did we lead to Doom? It's going to be interesting how they answer that in Avengers Doomsday.
I have an idea of how they can do this, and I've been saying this
Okay.
since they announced. So, 2 things that I want to point out. One, a lot of people were using that time where Doom became Iron Man as like
Yeah.
how Doom works or whatever, or how RDJ works as Doom. And when they announced RDJ as Doom, they said specifically, one, he's Victor Von Doom. And then 2, they said that he was the only one that they were supposed to see as Doom. So I don't believe that this is going to be a invincible Iron Man type thing. I truly believe that what we're going to see is this is the normal Doom, maybe. That's what I'm thinking. And the only reason why I say that is because I don't think that they want to play into that idea of Doom and Iron Man being the same. I feel like they don't want to do that. Secondly, in regards to how they handle Doom after Kang, the easiest way is just to kind of yada yada it. Like they were doing this, and I didn't think that this was a good idea, but they were going to do. I think the first movie was supposed to be called Secret Wars, and the second movie was supposed to be called Kang Dynasty, or
No, it
maybe
was switched.
so Kang Dynasty and then Secret Wars.
Mhm.
I didn't like the idea initially of Secret Wars being tied to Kang, because the comic event that this was supposed to be based off of used Doom, not Kang. And so because of that, I was like, okay, it makes sense for it to be Kang. And for them to call it Doomsday, especially with how Secret Wars started. So Secret Wars started the 2015 event with Doom going to the world of the Beyonders, and he had Molecule Man Owen Reese with him, and he found the Beyonders, and he just flooded the universe of the Beyonders with the Molecule Man and exploded them. And when that happened, that killed all the Beyonders and left their powers to just float in empty space. And Doom used his armor to absorb that energy. So he took on the power of the Beyonders. So what I think is going to potentially happen is that little arena that we saw all the Kangs in, I believe somehow Doom is going to go in there and destroy all the Kangs and use the Kang's ability to travel through the multiverse as his own power. And then
There
from
is a
there,
rumor that might be the beginning of Doomsday. In the opening scene, him in like the Kane, I guess, courtroom, whatever you
yeah,
call it, and you see him destroy all of them, and absorb their power. So I'm like, ooh, that would be freaking cool. That would make
it would be
sense.
dope.
To,
I mean, it would suck because I want to see Kang in the future, but
every pun intended.
I also feel like it only makes sense for them to go this route. And then if they want to do this and they do this right, in Secret Wars with Reed Richards and Doctor Doom fighting, and use that to reset the universe, quote unquote, because I don't think it's going to be a full reset like it wasn't in the comics.
Kevin Feige said that it's not going to be a full reboot, but that would be
it's like a sliding scale.
It'll be different, so it'll be like a soft reboot.
Yeah, that's typically what Marvel does. They just slide the scale a little bit. And I think we'll see some recast. So I think the Fantastic Four that we get will be recast. I think the Doctor Doom we get will be recast. I think we'll see 2 Captain Americas. Because I think, is it Chip Zdarsky who's currently doing a Captain America run? I think he's doing a current Captain America run that has both Steve Rogers and Sam Wilson. And I think we'll see that.
Okay, nice.
Yeah. So that's my theory on Doomsday. If any of you question whether or not this is something that I've even thought of before, just go check my socials because I've said this plenty of times before. This is what I truly believe, and I will say I've been right more times than not because I was right about what they were doing with the multiverse back in 2022, 2023 when the multiverse first started, and I was like, yeah, this is what they're doing with the multiverse. This is how they plan on doing it. And I was right up until Jonathan Majors decided he wanted to beat people.
That situation was
so insane, man. I was so mad at him.
That's a whole different drama stuff that I don't talk about.
Yeah.
Because it's not my business, really. I just did an episode with you on your show talking about Spider-Man, so we're going to expand that over here now. So this is like the divergent-comics 1.5 that's mixed with chemistry. Spider-Man brand. We got it broke down like what we were excited for. And record to say Tom Holland has officially been on record saying Jean Grey is not in the movie. But people are taking that with a grain of salt because he also said Toby and Andrew wasn't in No Way Home. So,
that is true.
But I'm hoping Jean Grey is not in this movie because it would make absolutely no freaking sense for her character to be there right now.
I'm glad you brought that up because I think an hour or so later after I saw that TikTok that Megan shared of it, I saw that Destin Daniel Creston, he came out and he said that the identity of who Sadie Sink is playing in the movie is going to be a secret. He said he doesn't want anyone to know. He wants you to find out when you get to the theaters. So that tells me it is not Jean Grey. And the only reason why I say it's not Jean Grey based off of that is for really 2 reasons. One, if it was Jean Grey, I just feel like he would have looked a certain way that been like, okay, maybe he's hinting at something. But 2, to me, they're keeping her a secret because they want her to be like a character that no one is really thinking about. He wants to play more into this Jean Grey theory, which is why he's keeping it a secret. And so he's just trying to build a hype. He just wants people to come out and see it. That's literally all it is.
I think I'm more excited for his take on Spider-Man than the other movies because the way he did Shang-Chi
was so good.
Oh my god!
And the action sequences. Yep.
Projects.
Like we knew exactly what I was thinking.
Bro, that's the type of Marvel movies we need more of. Mm-hmm. It's like it felt raw, it felt real, and it pulled you in. At least for
Get him on a Daredevil. Like give us a Daredevil or a Defenders movie.
Yeah.
Give us a Defenders movie with the Netflix Defenders. Have Destin
that would be bad.
That would be dope.
I'm like, I love, like, we know we have some comic relief, but can we get more of a grounded story movie? Mm-hmm. I was like, we can have like a little joke there, but can we get more to those more serious, grounded level stories? Because I feel like that's what Marvel has been missing a lot. It's just having a good, grounded, important story to tell. Yeah. I feel like they, especially with this saga, I feel like they rely too much on the comedy. But, dude, I am so pumped for a brand new day. It's legit a brand new day because Destin, I'm he thinks Spider-Man to a whole new height than it's ever been before. And then on top of that, Shang-Chi is back in Doomsday. So I'm just like, dude, we ain't seen you in 5 years since your movie came out. How the heck did you get for fighting Gambit? I was like, this is very interesting. Since Gambit's here, my question is, I'm like, who let Gambit out? Like, who opened the portal? Is one of my questions.
That is a good question.
And then where did he land?
Yeah.
So I'm genuinely curious. If he got out, what about Resistance Blade and Electra?
So I have a theory now. I'm good with coming up with theories. I don't think anyone let them out. I think Doom opened up a portal to another dimension, or maybe when when the incursions happened, all these universes converged. And they're in, I forgot what that universe is called, but that's another universe.
I call it the trash bin because that's
basically where everything
TVA zapped into it. I call it the trash bin.
So what if all of those universes converged and everything, and that's how we get Battle World. And that aspect of Battle World is what we get, or where we get certain characters being pulled that were able to escape into those pocket dimensions. Battle World typically in the comic run was its own thing. And so I'm thinking maybe we see with Battle World in Doomsday, if we get it, we might. Well, I think it seems like it's pretty confident to say that we're going to get.
I think we might get a little bit of it, but it might like a cliffhanger, and we get.
That's what I'm thinking too. That's what I'm thinking too. We're going to see at the beginning when Doom takes over and everything that all these dimensions start to collapse on each other, and as they're collapsing, maybe this pocket dimension to Battle World opens up, and some of these people are able to kind of escape into it. Is what I'm thinking. Or if they all converge into one another to form Battle World. And only some people survive it.
Yeah, I saw a post on Threads. Somebody brought up a very important thing I completely forgot about that happened. It's look at the beginning of the trailer of Doomsday. Professor X looking out the window, and it's a big explosion. Is that picking up where Doctor Strange 2 left off? Came to get Doctor Strange, telling him that there was an incursion coming. There's an incursion happening, and they went through that portal. So I'm wondering, does Doctor Strange pop up in Doomsday, or are they saving him for Secret Wars? Because he
should be in Doomsday. Right, but I wouldn't be surprised if they save him for the tail end of Doomsday.
Yeah, because right now he's in a portal right now looking at the incursions. That's how I see it.
Some people have said that Strange might be on sides with Doom.
He has a third eye now. He has the evil eye. So.
And if I remember correctly, in the comic run, I believe he was one of the advisors to Doom. So it's very possible. But Doctor Strange, he's one of those characters where morality is kind of gray for him. To him, it's just about not necessarily the right thing to do, but the best thing to do. Mm-hmm. So he might be on Doom's side.
There is what if Doom is not the actual villain? Because the way he was talking in the trailer, he said there's something coming, and the new poster they post is he doesn't sound like a person on revenge, but believing father or husband.
No,
stuff like that.
No.
People are thinking that way too.
People are crazy. Doom is the villain. Let's be serious. I love Doom. He's one of my favorite villains, but he is absolutely a villain.
But I feel like he's gonna be one of those villains that you actually understand and you stick on his side at the same time.
That's one of the best things about Doom is he does everything Doom does is either for ego or it's for a very specific reason. And I feel like they changed up his goals for this, and I actually hated this in the comics. In the comics, he did all this for power. He wanted the actual power. Is so that he could have the life that Reed Richards had. And Reed said that at the end. He was like, you have all this power. You could do whatever you wanted. And you did everything just to get my family. And I'm just the one time I actually agree with Reed Richards.
Other people thinking that in the trailer, in that scene where it's Thor, Fantastic Four, Donnerbolts, you see some empty spaces. And people why don't we cut out some characters right there? Cause
probably.
I was possibly. It's very possible. Yeah. They did with No Way Home, so it's very possible.
They did it with Infinity War and Endgame too.
Yeah, so I'm genuinely curious what characters they cut out right there. You won't see to the movie, so I'm like, it's
Yeah.
very interesting.
And I
And
want people
then
to remember, like, the way that things happen in Avenger or in the Secret Wars comic run, there were villains helping out the heroes to fight Doom. Like, it wasn't just all heroes. Like, Thanos came out. Now, granted, Thanos came out to fight Doom because Thanos is an egomaniac. But, like, it wasn't just all heroes. Like, the evil version of Reed Richards was out there, the maker. So it's like there's possibly going to be some villains, which is why I think in Brand New Day, Sadie Sink's character is a
he's a
villain,
villain.
and that's why like they're
Which
trying
is
to keep her under wraps because we're going to see her again in Doomsday.
especially since we know she's returning for Secret Wars. So
Yeah,
that's
like
good.
we know she's going to be in there, so like that doesn't necessarily mean that she's going to be Jean Grey. Like she
Yeah,
could be a
I'm like,
villain and still be on the side of the
right.
heroes in Secret Wars. So
And then the thing with Cap though, people think it's Loki, people think it's Hydra Cap or no Nomad Cap, and I'm like, I
yeah,
don't freaking know. I'm just
I don't
excited
know
to
either.
I'm like, I don't even know what to go
Yeah,
with it
I
because there's somebody standing behind Cap. It's like, who the hell are you? Who's standing behind?
Yeah, I've heard a lot of people say it's Mobius, and they're
It's like,
saying
oh,
that that's Loki. Honestly, all answers are valid to me until the movie comes out.
especially that one scene of Loki looking at his TVA badge, and he like he was in Cap's house. Just when he like he was
Yeah,
in his
when with
house.
what that we saw, what was it in the teaser where he had the
Yeah,
baby? Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah. Like he was in his. I'm like, why is Loki
It's
in Cap's
possible.
house?
Now, the
I was
only
like,
thing
oh,
about that though, Loki is the god of stories now.
that's true.
So I like we really don't know what that means
What
or what
story
that
he's
looks like.
telling?
Yeah, so it's like
Well,
anyone's
I'm
guess
pretty sure
is
God of
good right now.
Stories, he knows about Doom and knows what's going on. So that's
Yeah.
probably why this is just my theory now. So he probably left the tree or his throne. Since he's the God of Stories, he know Cap went back in time and stayed there. So I'm like, what is the repercussion that happened when he stayed there? And people asking like, okay, was the old Cap in game as an old man? Did he live through Doomsday? I was like, but how though? I'm like, that wouldn't make sense though because
Yeah.
that's 2019. Or, wait, no, my bad. I'm sorry. They was
It'd have been
probably
2023.
yeah. They was 2023,
Yeah.
and now I was like, but Doomsday is happening. I don't know how like years later now. So I'm
Right.
like, how
Yeah.
would he have lived through Doomsday? They said, no, that theory can't work. That
Yeah,
wouldn't
that
make
theory
sense
doesn't work.
story wise.
No.
But it still begs the question. Begs the question. What was the repercussion when he stayed behind to be with Peggy all those years?
Well, so I feel like with that, I don't think there was anything too deep from it
Mhm.
because, and maybe I'm wrong on this, but I feel like Cat would have known if it would have interrupted or messed up the time stream or not. So if there, I feel like he only did it because he knew he could stay there and not mess anything up. But it's also I'm curious now because up to that point, all we know is that whenever something new happens, a new branch
It's very
is
interesting to
that
learn.
branch like something that the TVA allowed, and if so, why? Now that's something I want to know.
That is interesting. That is interesting. And then another theory was that what kept going back that messed up Doom's story. Like, but how
Hmm.
though? But then again, anything is possible time.
I think the only thing for that with me is we don't know where Doom's story starts.
That's the other thing. Yeah.
If we knew where Doom's story started, then maybe. But
And somebody also brought up a line that Iron Man said back in Endgame. He said, "When you mess with time, time bounces back, or like pounces back, or something. Whatever that
yeah,
line
messes
was."
back. I think yeah,
Sounds like that's an interesting. I mean, that's an interesting line to bring back up. It's an interesting line to bring back up. Sounds like it's very interesting. These story points that we're trying to figure out. We won't know until the movie comes out, but it's just fun trying to figure out. Okay, what
yeah.
is Marvel doing with this? What is the Russo brothers doing with this?
I think a
And
lot of
just like
people are trying to overthink it by going back to Endgame. You can't.
Russo brothers did tell you to go back and watch Endgame and stuff. So I mean, that's also why they're overthinking it.
I thought they said that there was still like one Easter egg that no one has
Yeah, it
found from
is. I think that's
Endgame.
also why they're overthinking it because
Yeah,
they're trying
but
to
I don't
figure it
think that
out.
has anything to do with Doomsday.
Right,
Because in
but
my mind, what I'm thinking is
mm,
that everything that happened in Endgame was sealed to Endgame. And it was sealed to that entire saga leading up to Endgame. So everything after that I think would just be more so like repercussions of what happened in Endgame. So I think
and it's interesting since Endgame's coming back to theaters in September with
that's
7 minutes
true.
more footage to lead up to Doomsday in December. So it's like, okay, what the
I
hell are
didn't
we
know it was gonna
talking?
be 7 minutes more footage, but I
I
think they
think
had to add.
there's like a end credit scene or a few credit scenes in the
I think
new
they
in
had
the
to add that though,
yeah to lead up to
just so that they
Doomsday.
could put it back in theaters. Because I think
Yeah,
they did the same thing with Avatar.
that
Yeah,
did.
so
Yeah.
who knows? There's nothing that can make me not excited for Doomsday, and I have blocked off and made sure that I don't see anything relating to Doomsday on any social media. Only thing I saw in related to Doomsday was that trailer. And that's just because people just sent it to me. So I had like 6 people send it to me. I made that post on Facebook. Like I've seen the trailer like 5 times now. Yeah. And then the funny part about it is I went to YouTube to upload a reel for the day because I was working on stuff for my own podcast. And as soon as I open up YouTube, what do I see? Avengers Doomsday trailer. Official trailer by Marvel Studios. Like, jeez. Yeah, so I was going to see it. And I'm probably going to watch it when we're done recording, by the way. Just to
Me
let you
too.
know.
It's like me too, probably.
That trailer was awesome.
But I'm excited for it. I haven't been excited for Marvel in a while, but with Brand New Day and Doomsday, I'm actually very excited to see those like in theaters.
Yeah.
Oh, and I also heard Vision Quest is officially coming out in
October
October.
14th.
October 14th. So I'm like, interesting. Okay, so that completes the One Division trilogy. So that's gonna be interesting to see how that comes to play.
We'll see.
Let's go to the DC stuff. I cannot end this episode yet until we get to some DC parts of the bromance. First off, Clayface looks freaking badass.
I have only seen that one trailer. I'm trying to stay as
I
clean
saw
as
the
possible.
I saw the new trailer. I'm excited even more. But that first trailer, they just could have left it right there.
That's all I needed.
So,
Like, you're giving me a body horror type of movie? Like,
right.
that's all I need.
And then I think Megan shared like a report saying that this Clayface movie is based before Creature Commandos.
Yes.
So I'm like, how though? Because in this movie he looks like a terrifying monster, but in the Clayface and Creature Commandos, he's over playing video games in his house. It's kind of weird.
I'm intrigued to see how they do that.
Yeah, but it's very interesting. We talked about it on your show. I thought it was a 7 out of 10 for me. I didn't love it, but I liked it. I love parts of it, I would say. It's definitely overhated. So I'm like,
It is way
hating,
overhated.
y'all hating the freaking movie, and I'm pretty sure 95% of y'all didn't even see the freaking movie.
Right.
And then y'all have the audacity to call this beautiful woman ugly, but while y'all some random fat or old dudes on the internet complaining or trying to talk about looks.
I'm never going to understand that. Like, never.
I'm like, why the hell are y'all hating on a 20-something-year-old woman who's actually very beautiful, by the way? She's freaking amazing.
Like, come on.
But I'm like, Jason Momoa, he embodies Lobo from T to T.
I wish they would have given him more to work with, though. Like, I feel like he didn't get a lot.
Yeah, I feel like he was just thrown in the movie just to be like a filler into the movie. I feel like if he wasn't there, it would be like an exact same movie.
Yeah. From what I've read, they said that initially, the way the story was written, it didn't have Lobo in it. And then
that makes sense.
The studio came back and was like, yeah, add him in here. And that's why, like, he kind of was just thrown in there. It wasn't terrible, but it's like...
It was just random. It was just really random. And then I hear like reports talking about that the director and James Gunn had clashes in like post-production.
They were just... I don't believe that.
James cut 11 minutes out the movie and added like random comedic scenes.
Yeah.
I'm not sure that's true, but then again...
I don't believe that
possible,
part, but I do believe that there were some clashes. Just because, like, you know how it is to make comics. Like, when you're making something, you get passionate about it. So obviously you have two people who are very passionate about a story.
Yeah,
it's gonna get
also was like, James was the person talking about that every director and writer has their own creative vision, but James have a clash with them. I'm like, so he's kind of going back on his word at the same time. So I'm like, James, you said everyone has their different things. Now fandom hates you because it feel like every movie is just you. I was like, even though Supergirl did not really feel like James Gunn movie. It didn't
feel like a James Gunn movie at all.
I was like, it felt like Supergirl in Star Wars to me.
It did, and I was happy with that. That's actually why I liked it.
I was like, it felt like more of a George Lucas than a James Gunn movie.
Mm-hmm.
Like it was like legit Supergirl and Star Wars movie. It's just the movie is called Supergirl.
Right.
which I felt like it did go a bit too fast because I didn't really get into like caring for some of the characters.
It was really
Like,
slow to start, and then it kind of just
mhm.
sped up through the midway of the
Yeah, so
middle
it didn't
of the
really give me
movie.
the moment to like really
Yeah,
start caring for the characters, and like the villain felt underwhelming.
he was very
I was like,
underwhelming.
even though I still hate him,
It's
but
just like
he just not really a
that's it.
convincing villain.
And I said this online for a week, and every time I would say it, there would be some weirdo that would come out. Well, actually, he was like this in the comics. Okay, that doesn't make him a good
Like, that
villain. He was not
doesn't
a good
make him a
villain.
good villain whatsoever. But I still enjoyed the movie for what it was.
Yeah,
I'm excited to see Supergirl and Superman together in Man of
I'm
Tomorrow.
excited for that. Yeah,
So I'm like, oh, we actually finna see the cousins together on a big screen. So I'm actually very excited to see that they put it in IMAX. Because I saw the first Superman in IMAX. That was my first time seeing it in IMAX. So I'm hoping
I'm at.
the suit looks better. I think they
Mm-hmm.
improved the suit. It actually looks like it fits his body and not baggy. I see he grew his hair out a bit. I'm saying, okay, now you're looking a bit more like Superman when you grew your hair out a bit more.
They're
I'm
probably going to
like,
cut it by the time Man of Tomorrow comes out.
it's possible, but he was filming on it with his new hair. So I'm like, it's possible, but I'm not sure. But we'll see what
We'll
happens.
see. Yeah,
It's like people joked about Lex Luthor's suit looking like Buzz Lightyear. I'm saying, well, it's comic accurate, so
very comic accurate. Yeah, I
it's
love that
very
suit.
awesome. I'm like, it
I,
looks
I
badass.
still wish that I wish that we would get to see less of Lex Luthor because I want to see like Toyman or Metallo. You know, I want so badly for a Superman versus Mongol storyline. Like, just give that to me, please.
It's just, and I know like Lisa has a lot of characters in this movie as well. I know John Stewart is in Man of Tomorrow after his Lantern show comes out in
Mhm.
August. And
I think we're going to see
then
the entire Justice Gang again.
at this point, I think so too, because James
Mm.
keep putting all these characters in together. But he did say it's not a Superman sequel in a way, so I'm like, well, that makes sense then.
Did you see the animated movie Superman Man of Tomorrow? All right, go watch that, and then we'll have a conversation because I feel
Okay.
like James Gunn is doing something similar like that.
So,
And the main villain of that movie was technically Lex Luthor, but in actuality, it was Parasite.
interesting. Because in the Man of Tomorrow movie, this Brainiac can still go.
Brainiac had a cameo in there too, but that was
Nice.
more so because of the backstory for Superman, which is my favorite backstory that they do for Superman. So
It's
yeah,
quite
you got to
fast.
watch that. And that movie is the start of the new DC animated universe that happened after
Um,
the Justice League Apocalypse War.
oh, really? I'll definitely watch this then. It sounds pretty awesome.
It is pretty awesome.
I've seen like so many backlash about the Lanterns trailer. It's not green enough, and then they release a new trailer. It's green, and they're still complaining. And it's like, you got your green. Why are you still complaining? I mean,
Fans are
it's
never
like,
happy.
Jesus Christ, you people. You're just going to complain regardless of what's happening. I'm saying, I'm excited. I'm optimistic about Lanterns. I hate that dude's haircut. I'm sorry.
Which one?
Guy's haircut. It's
Oh,
just,
God.
oh God.
It's
God,
comic accurate, Kevin.
I know. I read some of the comic. I still hate the haircut. I'm sorry they made you have a haircut, dude.
Like, there's a reason he has anger issues.
I was like, but you're still a dick. But I see why.
Yeah.
But you're still a dick then. Right? But
Who
dude,
chooses to have that type of haircut?
you can easily change up your hair at any moment. Like, why don't you choose to do it? But the Marvel and DC, which one you think you're gonna be more excited for moving forward, Marvel or DC? I have to ask it before we hop off.
That's like asking a parent which child you want to see more. Like,
I mean, they both
If
got
I-
some good stuff coming out though.
if I had to choose, I'm gonna go DC.
Okay.
Only because they're bringing my boy Blue Beetle into Man of Tomorrow, and I am so hyped
I
for that.
forgot about. How did I forget Blue Beetle? He's one of my favorite
That was
characters.
just announced.
Was
It a week
saw
before
that
we
one
started
too.
recording? So
Yeah,
I'm so hyped for that, man.
yeah. I was like, finally. I mean, he's been out for 3 years since his movie came out.
Literally,
I've been wondering
man.
where he's gonna pop up. So it's
I
gonna be
love that
very
movie so
interesting to
much.
see how he connects into this overall universe.
Yeah.
And then it was like, I'm slightly pissed off about Batman 2 because that teaser was horrible. I'm like, you didn't get me hyped up whatsoever. That they delayed it. I mean, even it was a few months, but still, y'all delayed it like the 500th time. I
Which
might be
Batman
excited.
teaser?
Robert Patterson's Batman 2. Yeah,
I mean, I don't care what they do with that. Like, they can delay it another 6 months. I don't care. Just give it to me eventually. That's all I need.
But it comes out February 18, 2028. So I was like, I'm gonna still be optimistic because I'm hoping Mr. Freeze is one of the villains in it. If I'm being honest, because they show it's in snow. So I was like, okay, is Mr. Freeze showing up somewhere? Two-Face, I think, is showing up too. I'm like, he's one of my favorite villains. So I'm saying, but I'm optimistic about it. But I'm not excited from that pathetic marketing teaser they showed. I'm like, that doesn't get me excited whatsoever. But good for you.
I haven't been looking for anything Batman related because I want to go into it as blind as possible. Like, I will take a trailer whenever y'all are ready to release a trailer.
But DC, Marvel, I gotta give you guys props. We are banging out some stuff. It's gonna be an interesting few years.
Yeah.
Especially this year with Brand New Day, Clayface, Doomsday, Lanterns,
Vision Quest.
Vision Crest.
I think that's it.
Something.
I think that's it.
They're kicking it out very semi-strong, but we'll see how it goes. But I look forward to it. But before we hop off, brother, first off, thank you for coming to the Kevin C. Fake podcast, man. But please let the audience know where we could follow you on social media and see your theories and so we can yell at you to watch movies that you haven't seen. I'm kidding. I'm not going to yell at you.
Okay, I'm actually going to work on something next year so that we can do that. But yeah, so you can find me. I'm most active on Threads, but basically Instagram and Threads is GMTJ2K, I'm pretty sure. And then on TikTok, it's at divergent-comics, and also on YouTube at divergent-comics.
This guy is awesome. I was on his show 3 times, even though I was only scheduled for 2 of them, but that's your episode. I'm kidding. Well, I did Clash part on it. One episode I did with Megan that's out on Friday, July 24th, right? At 10 a.m. Go to divergent-comics YouTube. Check out that episode. It was a blast talking about Spider-Man with Megan and this awesome guy. You can find me on YouTube at Kevisal. It's KEVIRSAL. Also Kevisal.com. Instagram, I am Kevin Davis Official. TikTok, if you're there, it's Kevisal. And for some reason on X, just to try to reach other audiences, but even though it's toxic as hell, it's Kevisal there as well. But you can find Kevin C. Fake Podcast and wherever you watch or listen to podcasts, like on iHeartRadio, Spotify. And if you have any movie recommendations, make sure you tag this guy because he has a lot of movies to watch. Well, I do too because I need to go watch some DC and Marvel stuff that I missed over the years, so I can't talk. I have stuff to catch up to.
You do.
But again, guys, make sure you subscribe while you're watching this video. And if you want to follow us, our links are in the description of this video. But until next time, guys. I'm Kevin, and this is Gary, and we are bros. What deuces, guys?